Okay, so let's continue with section 1.3 on problem solving strategies. Okay, so let's read the first problem. It says a homeowner is constructing a 75-foot long fence. If each fence post is spaced 5 feet apart from the next fence post, how many fence posts will the homeowner need? Okay, so we have a 75-foot long fence and we want to place the fence posts 5 feet apart from one another. So let's see, let me stop sharing. I recommend you draw, you don't really need to, but I really think that it will help to draw a little diagram of the situation, right? So you want to space, say we place the first fence post here, and then you have the next one and the next one, right? So 5 feet apart. And 75 divided by 5 gives us 15 spaces, right? So we're gonna have 15 spaces. So then we have to count how many, so 15 of them, of these spaces represent 5 feet each one. So 5 times 15 gives us 75, so you need 15 of these spaces, right? Plus 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and you can do the next two. Well, let's say, I continue here, and 15, right? So we have, so how many, then you count. So make sure you see how many spaces, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, right? And so remember that from here, we continue here. So that's this one here. And you count how many fence posts is that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 of them. So we're going to need 16 fence posts in order to cover the 75-foot long fence, right? And that's number one. Now you don't have to draw the picture, but it really does help when you're trying to understand like what's going on in the problem, okay? All right, moving on to the next problem. Let's take a look. Let's go to the workbook. And I'll just do some of these. Again, I like to work not every problem. So to give you an opportunity to practice, remember that the answers are in the back. So you can take a look at the answers there, but always try to do the problem before you look at the answers. And it's okay to have the answer there because it doesn't really show you how to do it, right? So, it's not like in my labs when you're doing the homework and you click on view an example or where, the platform pretty much gives you the solution there. But even then, I recommend that you first try the problem and then only if you get stuck, you look at the solution to train you so you can, because when you're relying on somebody else doing the problem for you on a continuous basis, like on a regular basis, that doesn't train you to do it on your own. It doesn't train you, it doesn't prepare you for the test. So I recommend that you try it on your own, and if you get stuck, if you do need help, then you can take a look at the solution, right? But only until you try it for some time. Okay, so let's see. Number 2 is kind of a similar problem. So let's go ahead and do number 3. Let me see. Not maybe. Hold on. Let me see. Yes, let's go to number 5 because I'm looking for different problems, not the same, not of the same. So this one, this is on budgeting. So let's see. Finance. So this looks like a good problem to do. So number 5, it says if a family, so we'll do number 5. It says if a family borrows 36,531 for an addition to their home. Okay, so they borrow this money to build an addition to their home, and the loan is to be paid off in monthly payments over a period of 5 years. How much should each payment be? Interest has been included. This is important. Is interest included? Interest has been included in the total amount borrowed. Okay, so that 36,531 includes the interest. Round your answer to the nearest cent if necessary. Okay, so let's write things down. So I'm doing number 5. So 36,531 is what they borrow. So I'm gonna write down, this is the principal. And the loan is to be paid off in monthly payments over 5 years. Now in 5 years, because I'm paying, because a loan is going to be paid every month over 5 years, this is, how many months is that? So 5 years, you need to convert to months. So 5 times 12. So if you multiply times 12, it gives you 60 months, right? So that converts to how many months we have to pay off this loan. And we want to figure out the monthly payment. So that is why, let me stop sharing so I can show you what I wrote here. So you see, we have the principal, this is how much we borrowed. And we have 5 years, which, gives us how many months? 60 months. So we want to figure out how much we're going to be paying per month. So we take 36,531 and we're going to divide it by 60, right? Because the interest has been already added. So all we need to do is take 36,531 and divide it by 60. And so we get, for a monthly payment, we get 608.85 cents. And so we're rounding to the nearest cent, so that, we're getting 85 cents. Okay. So that is number 5. Okay. So let's see. So that one is a nice problem. I like choosing problems that you're likely to see in the real world. That is why, I'm selecting problems that I know that will help you in real life. Let me take a look at number 6 here, physical education teacher. Let me see number 7. Okay, number 7, another budgeting question. I like this problem. It says, number 7, it says, Cam's monthly budget includes $267 for food, $170 for gasoline, $600 for rent, and $100 for utilities. So she's got a monthly budget. She earns $1,514 per month after taxes. How much money is left for other expenses? Well, this one basically is just subtracting, right? So we're going to take a look at what the budget is. So let's add up her expenses per month. So monthly expenses, I'm just gonna write down monthly expenses. We have 267 for food, 170 for gasoline, 600 for rent, 130 for utilities. So adding everything up, we can see that she has, let's see, 267 plus 170 plus 600 plus 130 gives us a total of 1,167, right? She's making 1,514. This is her monthly income, right? 1,514. And we're gonna subtract monthly expenses. So let me stop sharing here so you can see. So I listed all the monthly expenses. I went ahead and added them, and I added 1,167 for total expenses. This is what when adding all the expenses, they gave us this total. So she's making 1,514. So if you subtract the 1,167, we get $347 that she can use for other expenses, right? Let me go back to the, yeah, because we want to know how much money she's got left, right, for other expenses. So that gives us 347 for other expenses. Okay, so that's number 7. Let's see, let's take a look at number 9 here. And then we'll also do 10. So, you know, notice I'm picking problems that have to do with money a lot, because I believe those are the problems that you're likely to run into in life, right? More so than the other problems. But if, you know, as you're working these problems, you find that you're struggling with one of them and you want me to help you, one of the problems I didn't do here in the video, you can always send me an email and we can have a tutoring session. You know, remember that you can always email your instructor and ask for a tutoring session if you're struggling with any of these questions, right? So, but for the sake of time, I like to pick questions that are practical, that are likely to come up in real life. Okay, so let's go ahead and go to number 9 and read number 9. And you know, number 9, somebody's getting married here. It says, for a wedding 20 weeks away, Marcy needs to lose 1 pound per week. Okay, so right there we see Marcy is trying to lose 1 pound per week, and the wedding is 20 weeks away, so she needs to lose 20 pounds before her wedding. Or it doesn't say if it's her wedding, but some wedding, right? Most experts agree that a person must burn 3,500 calories while exercising to shed 1 pound of excess fat. So basically, what is it saying? That it takes about 3,500 calories to shed 1 pound of excess fat, okay? So we need to burn that many calories. If Marcy can burn 175 calories while walking 1 mile, how many miles does she need to walk per week? Well, she can burn 175 calories while walking 1 mile. And let's see. So if you take, most experts agree that if you burn 3,500 calories while exercising to shed 1 pound of excess fat. So if you take the number of calories that you can burn by exercising, 35, well, that it takes to burn 1 pound of fat, which is 3,500, and you divide it by the calories while you walk a mile, that gives us the number of miles to walk per week, right? So this one is kind of interesting, but it's really a simple problem. So let me write this down. So 3,500 calories to lose 1 pound of excess fat, right? So we know that. Let me just write this down. If Marcy can burn 175 calories, now 175 calories can be burned while walking 1 mile. Speed walking. Speed walking 1 mile. So how many miles does she need to walk per week? Well, remember that she has 20 weeks, right? So if you take 3,500 and you divide it by 175, because if we speed walk 175, if we speed walk 1 mile, 175 calories can be burned, right? So take 3,500, let me see, let me stop sharing this. So if you take 3,500 and I divide it by 175, which is the number of calories that can be burned while speed walking 1 mile, right? So how many calories can I burn? 175 can be burned while speed walking 1 mile. So if I take the number of calories that it takes to lose 1 pound of excess fat divided by what I can burn by walking 1 mile, it's gonna give me 20. So I'm gonna have to walk 20 miles, right? So in order to burn the calories I need to burn, because it's gonna take 20 miles per week, right? This is per week. So let's see, it will be 20 miles per week. So this person has to walk 20 miles per week, right? Some of these questions, I feel like they're very good, but you really need to read them carefully. Let me share my screen here. They're good questions, but it does require that you read them very carefully in order to see what's really going on here, right? So 1 pound per week, because remember, she's trying to lose 1 pound per week, right? So based on that, it takes 3,500 calories to burn that 1 pound. So then, so we have 3,500 calories to burn 1 pound, and that's our goal. We want 1 pound per week. And so it's gonna take me at least speed walking 1 mile to burn 175 calories. So I take the 3,500, well, it takes Marcy, right? 3,500 divided by 175, it gives me the number of miles per week in order to burn 1 pound per week, right? So that's a lot of walking for 1 pound. That's a lot of walking. I like to walk, but I don't walk this much. But then I don't have to lose 20 pounds in 20 weeks, right? Okay, so that's number 9. Let's see. How about, what about number 10? Should we do number 10? Let me see if it's interesting. When a retired police officer passes away, he leaves 270,000 to be divided among his 3 children and 3. Yes, I love questions that have to do with money. So let's try this one. And the reason is not that I love money. No, it's not that. It's just that most of us are gonna deal with, well, we have to deal with money, not are going to deal, but deal with money always, right? So it's good to know how to handle money, how to understand money. And everyone should have a basic understanding of finance, every single person. And I recommend, if you're a parent, that you teach your children young age how to manage money. Okay. I really do think that should be part of the curriculum in schools, instead of teaching how to factor polynomials that they will not need, right? Most people will not need that as much as, or at all. What they need is certain things, and finance, understanding of basic finance is one of those things that all of us need to have, in my humble opinion. Okay, so number 10, it says, so we read it, right? So this retired police officer passed away, and he left an inheritance to his children. Now, to be divided among his 3 children and 3 grandchildren. So he's got 3 children and 3 grandchildren. And the will specifies that each child is to get twice as much as each grandchild. Okay, so we have to write this down, because we know as a total. Let me just write down the information, and then we can discuss it. So $270,000 is the will amount. Okay, and the police officer has 3 children and 3 grandchildren. And then each child is to get twice as much as each grandchild. So always, I need to define the amounts. And since I'm looking for those amounts, I'm going to use X. So let me just make a note here. Each child, this is very important, this is key. Each child is to get twice as much as each grandchild. Now, because I do not know, and then it says, how much does each get? Okay, so let me stop sharing so we can do this together. I do not know I'm looking for the amounts, right? So I focus on the person who's going to get the least. And so I'm going to say X is how much each grandchild will get. So this is the amount. So X equals the amount each grandchild will receive. Okay. And so I know that why each grandchild and not each child? Because the grandchild is receiving less. And so then the child will receive twice as much. So 2 times X is the amount each child will receive. Okay, very good. Now, how many grandchildren? So we have 3 times, so 3 grandchildren. So this is the grandchildren. Grandchildren. Why 3x? Because we have there's three grandchildren, right? And then plus there's 3 children. So the children, remember, they're getting 2x. So 3 of those, 3 times 2x. Okay, make sure you understand what I did here. This is the amount that the grandchildren will get, each one is getting x, but in total they're getting 3x. And then this is the amount, the 2x is the amount each child will get, but there's 3 of them, so 3 times 2x. And that's gonna equal the 270,000, right? And then we are going to add, so we get 3x, we combine like terms, plus 3 times 2x, you multiply the 3 times 2, that's 6, and then you still have x, equals 270,000, right? We add, combine like terms, 3x plus 6x gives you 9x, gives us 9x, equals 270,000. And to solve for x, you're going to divide by 9, right? And so x equals, I'm gonna write here at the bottom, x equals 270,000 divided by 9 gives me 30,000, right? Now, this x is the amount, remember what x represents, is the amount that each grandchild will receive, right? So each grandchild is going to receive 30,000. That means that each child will receive twice as much, which is 60,000. So once again, the grandchild, let me write this here. Each grandchild will get x equals 30,000, right? This means that each child will get twice as much. 2x, which is 2 times 30,000, which gives us 60,000, right? So they're getting 60,000 each child. All right. So that answers question 10. So we did question, let's go back to so what we did here, we did most of them. Let me share my screen here. So we did, let me scroll back, scroll up. Remember, we cover from here, we cover number 1. And then we didn't do 2 and 3 and 4 because we said that we wanted to focus on different problems. We did 5. We did 7, right? And then we did 9 and we did 10. So if you have a question on any of the other problems we didn't get to, just try them. The answers are in the back, and if you get stuck, just email me and we can meet via Zoom. Remember not to fall back on your homework. Make sure you stay on track. As you're doing, always watch the videos before you do the problems, because I think the videos do help to give you a model, like I always say, model so you can be able to do the homework. And in the homework questions, also there's going to be opportunity to practice additional problems. So Just let me know how you're doing. And so this is again section 1.3. We are done with 1.3. And I will see you on the next video. God bless. Take care. Bye-bye.